Welcome, everyone, to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show where we break down what is going on in the nerdy world. Right now, a recent event is that Stephen Strange has banished Brian to the Dark Dimension, and he won't be joining us today. We instead have our good friend Craig Newcomb from Hey Did You See?
Womp, womp.
Cheers.
Welcome, Craig.
I take my cheers back. You get no cheers. You do not pass go. You do not collect $200.
But fear thee not, listener. Josh Burns is here with you to guide you through the rest of the day.
What up, people?
So I want to start with two little bits of follow-up from previous podcast conversations. One of them actually turning to last week. So Josh, your Kickstarter that you ranted and raved about, how dare they pull this? I found out why it got pulled. So it wasn't due to Apple patents or wasn't due to anything else. It was actually sketchy behavior by the creator with basically the fact that the guy took he was going to get all this money and never make the product. It was way too sketchy. The account was linked to some suspicious behavior, and they said there's no way that they can deliver this as against the ethics guideline.
You're saying there was no product?
Basically, he was never going to make this thing. He promised delivery, and nope. And he apparently, like, his emails and stuff were linked to other Kickstarters that had done this before.
Well,
So do you think Kickstarter is a little gun shy now after the whole cooler debacle?
No, man, they're still out there going.
They're still fine.
Yeah.
This was just, and they just, this is it, Josh. The reason why it's not because of Apple. It's not Apple being evil. It's the guy who told you that he would make this for $9. And then give you $5 if you were an early backer to make this all metal airplane aluminum product is a lying sack of crap. So that's why it was pulled.
Wow, you're emotional about it too.
I'm just saying that's terrible. But
you don't actually spend anything until
right. But he was going to get it, hit the backing, and then once the money got to him, never give you a headphone jack.
No, I get it. I'm saying the money doesn't get transported until point of production, right? Well, then I feel fine. A scumbag got caught. I didn't lose any money, and frankly, this should.
But you threw Apple under the bus, and it wasn't.
I thought, you're saying it was you're calling me out for saying it was a patent thing. That's how I felt about it. Did anybody feel differently?
No,
right?
That's what I thought.
That
too.
seemed like the most
research.
likely explanation. Okay,
I agree.
So I didn't. You're absolutely right. I called Apple out, and I shouldn't have. Okay, you know what, Apple? I want an adapter. Can you figure it out? I'll pay you as much as you want.
No, so I sent you
no,
a link
no, because
to the Oxylite.
No, the
right?
link that you sent me had a lightning cable on one side and a headphone jack on the other. That is not what I want.
This doesn't exist yet? This is not real life?
This is real life. This is actually happening in Kickstarter.
No. I'm saying though, like. Excuse me for not being up to date on it because I haven't got my new iPhone yet. This is sad. There isn't an adapter available for a headphone jack yet?
Not to charge and play at the same time.
You can plug in a lightning adapter with a headphone jack and absolutely listen to any headphones, but you cannot listen and charge at the same time.
So my question is, what is different? And I'm going to include a link in the show notes so everyone can see this. What is the difference between the product that you saw and the one that I recommended to you as to why you're telling me, nay, I will never get this product?
The product that I saw was 2 lightning jacks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, then I withdraw my how dare you turn me down on this.
Right. It was 2 lightning jacks. That's all I want.
Okay, well, this is for the listener. This is a lightning jack that plugs in, a lightning jack on the other side that tells you that it's charging, and a headphone adapter. Okay, I see your grievance. I apologize.
I recently had to buy headphones. I just changed jobs, and I'm gonna not be driving in my car for a long time. So I needed to get headsets because I'm gonna be on the train. So I needed a good set of headphones, and I really did not want to go Bluetooth.
No, you can't. You can't go Bluetooth.
You can't do it. Yeah, no way.
I didn't want to deal with charging it, but at the same time,
you can't go Bluetooth. Don't do it.
Well, it's already done. I ordered Bluetooth. It's already.
I'm sorry.
Return them.
I'm sorry for that. You should totally get rid of it.
Return them right now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get the new phone, and there's no plug.
No, you're gonna get the new phone, and you're gonna get a pair of W1 headphones.
Either the Beats or the
Power
AirPods
Beats 3, Beats X, the AirPods. You're going to get one of those. Return the Bluetooth headphones.
Well, to round out this topic, I'm just saying, as people who were discouraged by looking at the Kickstarter saying, hey, it got pulled, here's another solution. Yes, it is a headphone jack instead of the lightning cables, but whatever. it does its purpose. It also has a stand and blah blah blah. It's a very nice looking product. And then right now, at the time of this recording, right, there is only 8 days left to back this project. $13 gets you the adapter. Comes in colors that kind of match the phones a little bit. It looks very nice. Definitely something to consider if you like using 3.5 millimeter headphone jacks and a lightning cable at the same time. Just putting that out there as a little bit of follow up for that. The other thing I want to follow up is this. Remember when we talked about Samsung having like some issues with some washing machines?
Yeah.
Well, they've issued an official recall of 2.8 million washing machines, saying, okay, sorry, we're going a little bit more than what we initially talked about. You need to get rid of these things now because they're hurting people.
You know who's having the worst year ever?
Samsung.
Holy crap.
But can this ruin them? Like,
No. Samsung's into everything. Like Mitsubishi.
Yeah.
Like
it can drive their stock down, and I'll buy some.
No. This is just one arm of a giant company. They are into everything.
They make cars. They make cars in Korea. They make washers and dryers and fridges and cell phones and batteries and hard drives.
And kitchen appliance. They make good kitchen appliance.
They do.
This is a one-off for them.
Mitsubishi, back in the day when they were producing giant televisions, they were also into producing parts for fighter planes, and they had a giant canned foods industry. Mitsubishi.
All right, so that's the end of a follow-up for that. There is one piece of tech news that I want to bring up, and just in passing, and just because it's all over the internet, Twitter is officially killing off Vine. They are going to keep it up and running so people can view it, but no more mobile app, no more creation. So all those Vine stars out there have to go to Twitter or Snapchat or something.
Do something for longer than 3 seconds of their lives.
Yeah, Vine is gone. So just I want to acknowledge it because it's a thing. People use Vine. We made one Vine once before, and that was about the end of that. So it's gone forever. Sorry, Vine. Nice to know you. So with Brian being gone, I have the awkward time here of going through what Brian, even in duress, just as a class act, put together our blockbuster for the month of
magnanimously
November.
put together a blockbuster.
I mean, posthumously put together.
He didn't die, bruh.
Well, we don't know.
No, we do know.
Nobody
Can we do this justice without him?
No.
He could be dying right
He's
now.
not dying. He's super alive, and there are very few cats to witness him.
I thought very few cats would eat his body because he's
They
dead.
will not eat his body. There are enough other males that it's not a thing. So the ratio,
Even if they wanted
ratio
to eat
there
his
is
body,
fine enough.
ratio
they
of
couldn't
cats to
find it in the
males is
Palacio state.
very low.
Even if they wanted to eat his body, they wouldn't be able to find.
Yes, the ratio at my house is quite
Oh,
good.
he's gonna be super pissed.
Look at me. I've interrupted your conversation. No, you're not allowed to speak, Joshua. Craig, I cannot grow a beard because of this mask that I have on.
God, I love that
How
Bane
does
is
he
on the
do this
episode
for
that I'm
3.5
on.
minutes? I don't get it. There's nothing appealing about this.
Okay.
I'm laughing at Brian's reaction to that. I'm
That's
not.
exactly what I'm doing.
Oh,
I'm
God,
not
he's gonna be
laughing at your
pissed.
impression. I'm laughing
I
at
know you're
Brian's
not.
reaction.
I did it just to piss Brian off. So
I just
anyway,
want to know, though. Hold on. I have a question. Will the very low amount of cats be able to find his male body in the palatial estate? Is it too big?
It's not. It's no. They look. The cats know. The cats seemingly are everywhere at once.
I don't trust cats. I don't.
No, I don't think anyone should. It doesn't mean they're not entertaining creatures. It's just they're not dangerous. They're not going to try to off him, even in his weakened state.
So let's talk about the blockbuster going on for month of November. Yes, we realize that it's already November. Back off, okay? We've been busy. Brian's dying and no one cares. Say Ferris. So the first movie is obviously something that we're going to talk about next week, and that is Doctor Strange. I don't think we need to spend a whole lot of time on this. It looks amazing. We're all going to see it. Best movie of Marvel's year so far. Yeah. Let's go do it. Anyone have anything to add about Doctor Strange?
It's Strange.
Here's one that I'm actually interested in. Andrew Garfield, very devastated the fact that he is no longer Spider-Man, has taken on the movie Hacksaw Ridge, based on a true story. This looks really good. I'm not going to lie.
Heart-wrenching is the word you're looking for.
Although I think there's one problem with this movie, and that's it's Mel Gibson.
This looks terrible.
Really?
I mean-
you think it looks terrible?
How?
God awful.
This is going to be, if you are 60 years old and or plus, you are going to go see this movie.
Every 60-year-old man in that theater is going to watch this thing and go, what's the problem with this pussy?
Was it? Wow. I did not expect that from you. I'm not gonna move.
Dude, I'm watching it going, hey, jerk off. Don't enlist if you don't want to lift a weapon. You know what you do?
I don't think it was a matter of enlisting. I think it was recruiting.
Oh, you know what you do? You save people at home if you don't want to pick up a weapon and protect those who are in battle with you. Nope.
No, I get. And that's literally the
Wait. Hard pass. Out. Not ever.
Wow.
Not ever.
I'm gonna see this movie. It looks to me, it looks really good, and I do like the story.
I will watch this on HBO or whatever channel it comes out on. I won't see it in the theater. I think it's probably going to be good. I agree with the Mel Gibson. Probably not so great. That's a problem.
He's a good director, though. But I mean, it's Mel Gibson. He's a terrible person.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not with Josh on the hard passes. Wow, that's aggressive hard pass.
Really like,
wow. Especially because it's based on a true story. I think there's probably more to it than he's a pussy and doesn't want to pick up a gun. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Josh. I really think that was the one I was gonna get pushback on.
Nope.
All right, so it's time to talk about a movie that I will see because I have a 3-year-old and this is totally gonna happen. I'm gonna go see Trolls this weekend as well. I'm gonna see it on Sunday.
My kids are guaranteed they're gonna want to see this, and I don't want to be anywhere near it.
I'm doing Doctor Strange on Saturday and Trolls on Sunday. That is my life. I don't want to. It feels like the leftover bits of Wreck-It Ralph somehow got put in together into a Smurfs movie, and they made it Trolls.
So let me give you guys a backstory here. My wife, she's a 4th grade teacher. She is going to do dinner with the teachers. So they are all telling the students, this is the night we're going to go see this movie. You're welcome to come. Bring your parents. You can come see this movie with the teachers. She's like, do you want to come? And I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah. You know what that sounds like? A nightmare.
If I did,
I don't want to interact with your students. I don't interact with this movie.
I'll tell you what I'd like to do. I'll come to the movie, right? And then what I'll do is I'll stick my hand in the communal popcorn, get strapped, leave, and be miserable for a week.
Josh, I am okay with you texting during this movie.
Right.
I'm okay.
Here's the thing. The saving grace to me, the reason that I will end up watching this movie over and over and over, the reason, Justin Timberlake.
Yes. No,
Sign me up
I
for
agree.
everything Justin Timberlake does all the time.
The cast of the movie is fantastic.
The what now? The cast? Oh, yeah. The cast is great.
Oh, yeah.
Look, I guarantee you I will have to see this movie, and then it will end up, on iTunes, and I'll watch it 3 times a day for a month.
I really hope I can get my daughter off of Let It Go and just the Trolls song can be okay.
Wait, you haven't moved on? No, there's been a ton of songs since then. You need to do a better job. You need to introduce her to other stuff. You'll get her away from it, but
she still sings the Doctor Who song.
Yeah.
Should teach her the Angry Bird song at Christmas.
Right, Angry Bird. Yeah, you teach her that song.
The other movie that is coming out on November 4th is Arrival. I'm still wish-washy about this. I don't know yet if I'm fully bought into it. But basically, it comes down to this. There's a alien craft landing on Earth, and a expert linguist is recruited by the military to determine whether they come in peace or if they are a threat.
This is like Independence Day, but worse.
Well, there's a wrinkle.
What's the wrinkle?
Jeremy Renner is the wrinkle.
That's the wrinkle.
And if you look, Craig,
love Jeremy Renner.
Before you say anything, if you put Jeremy Renner in something, generally people, they're going to watch it. I want to watch it because Jeremy Renner. And for no other reason than because Jeremy Renner, I will end up seeing this movie. Probably not in the theater. I'll see it.
I don't care.
Jeremy Renner.
This movie looks awful.
You tell me one role that you didn't like Jeremy Renner in. One.
It's true.
This movie looks bad.
No. That's not what I asked. You tell me one role you didn't like Jeremy Renner in.
I can't think of one. It's impossible. All right, fine. This movie is the movie.
What?
It is a movie.
No, this is the movie that I don't want to see.
Oh, this is the movie where you don't like Jeremy Renner's role?
Well, you can't say that until you see it.
No, I can't. I don't think you can. I think Jeremy Renner will be great in this.
The concept of this movie looks
No, I'm
bad.
with
Like,
you. The concept is very bad, but in the end, Jeremy Renner.
Right.
Ugh.
Hey, it's the only movie coming out that week that's worth your salt. So, hey, I mean, you'll probably end up seeing it at some point in your life, but not going to the movies that week for that one. Sorry, Brian. I'm sure you probably like this movie a lot.
But on Laura's birthday, on 11/11, we have Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Woo!
Yes.
I'm excited for this so much.
I hate to say this. This, I'm pretty sure, will be an opening night movie.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to
It's
hear.
Laura's birthday.
Josh, you want to go? I'll drive out to your
It's
place.
Hold on. Let me dance here because Josh has to go to an opening day of a movie.
For sure, Laura's going to want to see this movie, and it's her birthday. I'm going to have to take her to see the movie.
To tie in with Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Google has actually put 3 voice commands, probably more. I can only find 3, into the Android operating system. That if you use the trigger word, sorry, all Android people, okay, Google, and you say Lumos, your flashlight comes on. If you say
That's
Nux,
awesome.
your flashlight goes off. And then if you say Silencio, it actually silences your phone. So if you own an Android device, and it's got OK Google built into it, you can actually start using some Harry Potter spells to control your mobile device. That's pretty cool.
Do you have to say "Okay, Google" first?
Yes, that is the trick.
Well,
No. Can't I just make a hand gesture and say the word like it's an actual spell?
OK Google.
I thought I
Lumos.
could just say Lumos.
Take that, Android
I should
people.
just be able to say Lumos, and my phone lights up.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work.
From
that
what
way.
I understand, the cantation is just Lumos.
It is,
goes
but
around
you
it.
have to
Then
make your
nope.
Android. Listen. It's happening. This is what you have to do. And just to round it out for everybody, hey Siri, a bit of movie news to come with Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. As we talked about the other week, there are going to be 5 Fantastic Beasts movies, and Johnny Depp has been allegedly cast in 4. So the next coming movies will feature Johnny Deppness doing his Johnny
As long
Deppness.
as they don't also feature Tim Burton.
I agree.
Look, you have to acknowledge I have a legit beef here. When I hear Johnny Depp, I'm looking around the corner like, where the hell is fucking Tim Burton lurking? He's there.
Well, Tim Burton's baby's mama was in all the other Harry Potters, and he wasn't anywhere to be found.
If you look at
He
every
wasn't anywhere to
picture
be
ever
found.
taken of Johnny Depp, there's Tim Burton dandruff somewhere.
Or Marilyn Manson, though, but I would be okay with Marilyn
Right, and-
Manson.
You almost made me spit water on my neck.
and I just don't want to see, like, get the Tim Burton out of my life. I'm fine with Johnny Depp. Just there's always Tim Burton there.
So that's some Fantastic Beasts and where to find them news. Moving on to the next movie is The Edge of 17, a coming-to-age tale that's going to be released on November 18th. I don't care about this movie at all. You two have some feelings about it.
Look, I saw this. I actually showed you guys this trailer. We talked about this like a month and a half, 2 months ago.
Right.
I was excited about it then. It looks really good. And especially, I haven't seen any big movies with Haley Steinfeld that I wasn't interested in. She's a fantastic actress. She does a great job. And Woody Harrelson.
Thank you, Woody Harrelson. When Woody
That's
Harrelson
awesome.
reads the note, the text. Oh my
That's
god,
awesome.
It was
Oh,
awesome.
that
He starts
Oh,
reading
it's
it,
great.
and he's like, "Well, this is a run-on sentence."
Do you know what it is? I have an aversion to movies, almost like Meet the Parents and stuff like that too, where people get into really awkward situations that they could have just avoided if they were not a movie character, and it just it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. It's like it's someone putting the S on the end of Illinois.
Because you've never sent a text message you didn't mean to send.
No, I have.
Are
But
you-
I mean, like
or an
Nails
email.
on-
the whole
are-
movie is the situations that are rather unfortunate, and that it bothers me because I don't like those
that's
situations.
interesting. That's very interesting. Like that kind of stuff. I love watching the things that make you uncomfortable in the moment. I love watching that stuff.
Oh, I hate that.
Right. I love it. Like, so you're like Larry David is your worst nightmare,
yes, it is.
right? Because anything
Yep.
Larry David, right? That's the whole, but that's actually why I like this movie, because you're uncomfortable watching the trailer. Like, you
Yeah.
know, and you know, this whole movie is going to be about how uncomfortable you were as a teenager.
Yeah, I don't want to relive that.
No, but
I don't need
it's-
that anymore. My brain already does that by itself. When I'm about to go to bed at night, and then my brain goes, "Hey, remember that time you like flubbed a speech in the 8th grade? Yeah, you are the only person on earth who remembers it, but I'm going to replay that moment for you,
You
right
just feel
now,
that
and you're going to live in it
and
for
you
an
feel
hour."
that shame for like a solid
Absolutely.
5 minutes.
I know there are 2 moments in my life that I am like petrified. I run over my head every now and then, and I always think that other people are thinking about that moment when something, contextual happens with it. No one else is, but I fear that moment.
So how I feel about horror, you feel about the uncomfortable feeling.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. This is the thing. And I said
This is therapeutic. This feels good.
a couple weeks ago, I said that feeling that you get when you see something scary, something, a horror movie, and people recoil and they like that feeling makes me physically violent, right? So
yes, this is how I feel.
And alternatively, the feeling I get with the shame humor, I love it. I don't know what it is, but I'm watching it and I'm like, makes me so uncomfortable. I can't stop watching, right? I like it. And that's what this movie does for me.
Well, then
This is 2 against 1 right now because I'm with you on this one, Josh.
That's fine. This is not my movie.
No.
I have no desire to ever see this.
Clearly
When you
not.
watch this, when I watched this trailer, I really thought back to like an 80s
Right.
movie. Like, yeah, like this just reminded me of The Breakfast Club. Sorry.
No, I love the Breakfast Club. This and I
Yeah.
get it. Like it's
This has a vein of it.
that same sort of theme, that same feeling, the embarrassment and the
Ferris Bueller's Day
Yeah.
Off, like everything 80s. It reminded me that I'm like, I got to see this. Will I go to the theater to see it? Probably not.
I
feel Craig doesn't go to the theaters at
No,
all.
I'm with you.
Very
And
rarely.
I'm with Craig. I probably won't go to the
It's too much of a to do to go to the movie theater.
All right. The next movie on November 18th is Moana, with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson playing a Samoan god.
Could not. This trailer did nothing for me. I watched all the trailers and I laughed. This did
Cool
nothing.
kid
I
movie.
kind of like it, and I don't know why. Like I want to go see this with my daughter.
No.
Yeah. Kids movie. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, definitely a kids movie. But for me, I know she's not gonna like it at all, and I'm gonna like it, and I don't know why. I can't tell you why.
It has a female hero. I mean, it has a
It's just like my daughter didn't sit all the way through Kubo, and she then talked about Kubo for a week, but she didn't watch the whole movie. But she was like, "Kubo, I'm Kubo," and I'm like, "You didn't even watch the movie. What are you doing?" It's the same thing. I'm very
Really
interested.
call your daughter out on that? Like,
She's 3, whatever. By the time
Yeah,
that
but
she's old
did
enough to
you do
listen to this
that, though?
podcast, she'll be like, "Dad, what is a movie? We have holographic projections at home. I don't understand."
we rehydrated our pizza.
yeah. Let's. Dad, I don't understand. I went back to that moment. I was watching the movie, Dad. I don't know what you're talking about. I was there. Listen. Josh, this is a movie you're going to see with your kids,
iTunes.
possibly.
iTunes. Not in the
Okay.
theater, no.
Not in theaters. All right. Craig, we get how you feel. You hate this movie. It's fine.
yeah, I got nothing for it. I don't got kids. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry about not having kids. Never mind. I take it back.
This is a movie that we have talked about, but we do need to acknowledge it's coming out in November. That's Allied. That was the Brad Pitt World
Sign
War
me
II
up.
movie.
Anything with Brad Pitt, sign me up.
So, looks so good. We've talked about it at length. Looks really awesome. The end of November, we have Bad Santa 2. Here's my problem. It's been way too long since the original Bad Santa. And every single movie that has done this before, of waiting way too long for its sequel, has been a steaming pile of dog poop.
Hold on.
I look at
CJ,
you, Anchorman 2.
I got to call you out right now because me and you have had this argument. I'm pretty sure me and you, Super Troopers, it's been way too long, but you're okay with this.
It's not coming out this year, though.
No, it doesn't
Every
matter.
movie that's done it
It's
this
going
year-
longer.
Just
Yeah.
this year, I know, but just this year has proven that you can do it. Maybe next year can be the exception that proves the
No.
rule.
But if you're okay with Super Troopers on the fact that it takes too long for a sequel to come out, you can't automatically write this movie off.
I am excited for Super Troopers. I think it will be bad, but I'm excited for it.
Then you can't write this movie off automatically.
But I
I think CJ, the type of humor, the shock humor that this movie, it's an like it's people.
I get it.
people
I do.
go-
I get people are going to see this movie. It's going to make a lot of money. I don't think people are going to like the movie.
Guys get hit in the nuts because that's what they do, right? Guys get hit in the nuts. Funny. That's what you watch. That's what this is. The whole movie's a guy getting hit in the nuts over and over and over.
They're going to watch it. They're going to see it. They're going to laugh, but then they're going to instantly go,
the
that movie was dumb.
producers and the studio just care that people watch it once.
I'm not going to see this. Hard pass.
Oh, hard pass.
No.
Not ever.
Hold on.
Bad Santa
Let's
2.
go on
Never
record.
going to see
Hard
this movie.
pass.
Hard pass.
Never going to see this movie. Never.
No, if you say this, hold on, CJ.
We have wait. We have on this show. Josh is reclining back as he can feel the wind shit coming my way.
Josh, can you get your wife real quick? Bring her in on this,
No.
please.
It is a
she-
hard pass.
Go
I
get
will
her.
never in my life see Bad Santa 2.
Laura
Never gonna happen.
doesn't have a tattoo because she's afraid of hepatitis. But after hearing this hard pass, she may tattoo these words and this date on herself just so that she can keep track of it.
I hope you all know I will never see Bad Santa 2.
You will.
No, I'm
fucking
going on
lying right
record.
now.
I will never watch this
Laura
movie.
would risk hepatitis to catch you in welching on a
If-
hard pass.
If I welch on this hard pass, I will get a tattoo of this date.
No.
and time.
If you welch on this hard pass, someone has to give you hepatitis.
Can I give
don't
him a
know-
tattoo with
don't know if I'm gonna go
hepatitis
with
on it?
hepatitis. Can I get a tattoo of hepatitis?
Is there? I'm picturing the Motaba virus from Outbreak. Is there like a physical
yeah.
expression
No, that's it.
of the
You
hepatitis?
won, Josh. You got it. If he watches this movie, he gets that tattoo.
The Motaba virus tattoo?
I want to go on record here. He will have to get the tattoo from Outbreak of that virus. I'll pay for
Wait,
it.
the first strain or the second strain? Because the one looked nastier than the other.
Whatever. I'll get my tattoo artist. I'll pay for it. He'll go to CJ's house if we have to. I'll hold him down. So you will agree if you're making that statement that if you
Yes,
see that
sure,
movie,
absolutely.
that me and my tattoo artist can
Yes.
come to your house and tattoo
Put it
the
on my
Malova
face.
virus.
Motaba virus.
Put it on my face like Mike Tyson.
No, we won't even go. I won't even put that on you. Put it on your leg where something will
Yes.
know. You put it on your calf. You will get the tattoo
Absolutely.
of the Motaba virus.
Yes.
If you watch
Now,
this movie.
Brian and Josh, don't you fucking be nefarious bastards who are trying to like somehow weasel me into seeing this movie, okay? I'm never going to see
No,
this
I
movie.
swear to God, this
Hey guys, we're going to do a
this
podcast episode on Bad Santa 2. You have to see it so we can do the
This
podcast
DVD
episode.
I
No.
have here is The Magnificent Seven. Watch it. And then, hey, why are you
That's
guys
Bad
strapping
Santa
me
too.
down and tying my
Clockwork
and
Orange, you
opening,
mean?
yeah,
Doesn't
opening
work.
my eyelids with Clockwork Orange things. What are you doing? Nothing, CJ.
It's on record that if you watch Bad Santa, you will get the tattoo.
Yes.
You will not edit this out.
I'm not editing. I'm editing
All right.
some of it, but not this part. Yes.
Okay.
That's the end of the blockbuster. It apparently ends with me and a tattoo bet.
It really does.
See what happens, Brian, when you're not here? I end up making a bet about getting a tattoo.
Poor life decisions.
I'm never going to see this. I'm literally never going to see this movie. Literally never going to see
All
this
right,
movie.
but before we move on to anything else, before we move on to any topic, I want to talk to Craig for a moment because he was a little charged up about the Fantastic Beasts, and I know that he just finished the books. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
So can we, CJ? Can we take a minute and talk about this?
yeah, we've got time. Go ahead. Absolutely.
Craig, you had not read the books, right? Was it
Never seen the movie.
was it
never
me
read the books.
throwing things at you verbally that caused you to get into it, or was it something else?
No, so I have a long drive to work, and I like kind of the big story, epic, if you will, long. I just got done with the Dark Tower, and I'm like,
The Dark Tower
man.
is an epic for sure.
oh yeah, absolutely. And I will put Harry Potter in that as well. So I needed something to listen to on my long drive to work, and people have been talking about Harry Potter for years. So I'm like, you know what? I'll bite. Listen to the first book, and I'm like, I don't know. Listen to the second book. I'm like, this is kind of going Scooby-Doo-ish.
That's a good
Very
analogy.
Scooby-Doo. And I listened to the third book, and I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Right.
The third book is just, it engulfed me. So I listened to the third book, and I'm immediately in. I'm like, oh my God, this is not Scooby-Doo. This is actually good. And I listened all the way through. The last book, which I'm pretty sure is the longest book, I finished in like 3
Right.
days. I come home, I turn on my
Yeah,
Bluetooth
don't talk.
speaker,
Don't talk
TV
to me.
doesn't
Don't talk
exist.
to me. Put my headphones in. Don't talk to me.
Exactly. The last book is just fantastic. I just finished the other day the last book, and I already started the Prisoner of Azkaban again. I wanted to read.
I have to ask you. Craig, I have a million questions that we can take offline, but I have one question I have to ask you right here, right now. When Harry collects the tears from Snape and goes to Dumbledore's office, what happened to you when you were listening?
So the whole time I'm like, God, I hate Snape. I hate him. I hate him. He killed Dumbledore, which he's like your grandfather. How can you not love Dumbledore?
Right.
And Snape's the one that killed him. And the whole time I'm going through the books, I'm like, you know what? Dumbledore trusts this guy. He can't be that bad. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Harry Potter is just an angsty teenager, and he has a bad feeling about this teacher, but Dumbledore's this old man, and he trusts Snape. So I'm going to side with Dumbledore on this. And when he fucking killed Dumbledore, I'm like, oh my God, I was wrong the entire time. Fucking hate this guy. He's the worst person ever. Like, oh my God, how could you do this? Snape, like, you were trusted by Dumbledore. Like, come on, you killed him. And I was just heartbroken that he killed him. And then when it all kind of shakes out in the end, I'm like, how could I be so wrong? I need to go back to the beginning and re-listen to this and really see where Snape.
Craig, I wept. Did you not shed a tear?
I got emotional a couple times in the book. That was one of them, and then the way it ended, Harry named his kid after Snape. That really stuck with me. I'm like, oh my God, like he appreciates. And that's what made me want to go back to the beginning and re-listen and really kind of figure out Snape.
This is my message to everyone. Like Craig, if you have not experienced Harry Potter, for the love of God, would you just listen to the audiobooks?
So moving away from the Harry Potter moments, now it's time to talk a little bit of tech and a little bit of nerd translation as to what the heck is going on right now with Microsoft and what's going on with Apple.
I might sell all my Apple products and buy Microsoft.
Wait till we're done this conversation and just trust me. So let's talk about the Apple event first, because what they did was they kind of unleashed some really cool technology and some changes onto the Mac fanboys here. They introduced probably the coolest piece of technology I've seen, which is this little touch bar, which replaces the entire function row. It's dynamic, so it changes on what app that you're using and gives you little pro features and customability to it. It's pretty impressive technology, and they didn't go full touchscreen on your Mac itself, just this little touch bar that's a OLED part. I thought it was really cool. What did you think about the new MacBook Pro?
That was the least impressive part of it for me.
Yeah? I mean, no, seriously,
Honestly.
what was the most impressive part of it for you?
Just the overall, the battery life of it, the processor of it. That's a gimmick. The whole changing screen out there that's not... who cares?
Dude, I care so... Listen, as a guy who has to use a timeline every week, that is so much easier to scrub with that thing than it is to use.
All right. I mean, fair enough. There's the function bar, touch bar, whatever you want to call it. Yes, it's
at least they didn't cite courage as the reason why they got
for
it.
sure. And look, it's cool, and I like how it's dynamic. I like that there's a bunch of different interactions you'll have with it, but it's gonna take me a while to get used to it. Right?
They focused on the emoji piece of it. Like it instantly becomes gimmicky.
And I think it's useful, but I'm so used to my function keys right now, CJ. I'm so used to my function keys at this point that it's gonna take a minute to get used to it. And I agree with Craig to a degree. The improvements in processor, graphics, size,
Yeah.
Yeah, when they were showing the size and comparing it to the previous generation, I'm like, holy shit, I don't need a laptop, but I want one.
Yeah, all of that absolutely trumps the touch bar. The touch bar is cool,
Right.
But and I'm going to transition here, and I don't want to cut short. I don't want to cut short the Apple conversation, but I'm going to. The touch bar is a cool innovation, but I got to tell you, what Microsoft did
Yeah.
completely sort of copying the iMac look, but then adding a fucking useless feature like touch absolutely blew me away. Here's
Hold on, time out, though.
And here's why. I work at my desk a lot. I have an iMac, 21-inch iMac, a lot like the thing they showed you toward the end of that Microsoft show. I have my keyboard, my Magic Trackpad. I have my iMac, right? You know what I don't ever do? Lean the way the hell forward and touch the screen of my iMac. You know why? It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Yeah,
And
once
I
it's in
think-
place, it's in place.
I think their market for that was like people illustrating.
Nope.
Like we
Nope.
talked about Wolfgang or
Beowulf
in the last episode,
Listen,
the Broadway set designer.
The Broadway
It's
set
for him.
designer guy is not
for him.
using a desktop computer to illustrate, and frankly, he's not using a Surface either. He's using a Mac. I don't care what he says on that commercial. That guy is using a Mac.
I agree with you too. I don't think he's using it either. That's who they made it for. It was a dumb idea to do that, but that's who they made it for.
If you feel the need, like if your skills are not advanced enough to use a Mac to do your editing, and you need to use a tablet, you're going to use an iPad. You're not going to use a Surface. I've watched the Surface thing. I've owned Surface products. I've used them. The problem is never the hardware. The problem is always the software.
And that's the thing, Craig, right there, where you said, hey, I may sell off my Apple products and get that. Listen, design-wise, like the beauty of the actual devices that they did, the Surface Studio,
They're
Josh, that
on
you just
par.
talked
The
about,
Surface products are on par.
gorgeous, right? They're absolutely phenomenal. They are great design. It looks like something out of Apple's playbook, or even something that another person.
I
They're
would.
fantastic.
You're not going to discern in design. They're catching up.
And the fact that they're actually made by Microsoft themselves and not some other company. It's not Dell. It's not Toshiba. It's actual Microsoft. Very impressive move. The problem is it still runs Windows.
I got to tell you, the moment where this Windows presentation, service presentation, lost me was when they started using Windows phones, and I went, "Oh, you managed to find a phone that no one
cares.
owns." So I am immediately shutting off everything you say. Listen, I've owned Windows phones, and I'm here
they're terrible.
I'm here to tell you, folks, they are not usable as a daily driver device.
Useless.
The other thing they did was very Apple-like as well. And again, this was very, let's go on with what Apple has been doing and let's do it ourselves. Again, make our own products. Is they had that integration now with Skype that if you get a Skype message, it now shows up on your Windows computer like an iMessage.
I think it's awesome, and
There's one problem,
I think that
though.
the two people in the world that use Skype might use that really well.
Yeah, I'm sure Steve Ballmer and his mom
the
will
other
communicate.
hold on.
6.998
CJ,
billion
you
of
use
us.
Skype every day. No, hold on. Skype's used
listen,
every day.
But when I get home, right, I'm not doing that. And Enterprise is entirely different in the fact that they will never use Windows 10 Creative.
Nope.
I
They'll
know,
never use
but
it.
Skype is used every day.
No, but Skype
Me
is
and you
used
both
in
use it.
enterprise. It's
yes,
not in consumers.
Exactly right.
And that's the problem with what Microsoft is trying to do. They're trying to tell consumers, hey, come over to Skype. No, they're using WhatsApp. They're using SMS through their carrier. They're using iMessage. They're using every platform in the world but Skype.
You're late to the show, right? It's not
The only people who use Skype are for conference calls. They're not for text messages.
But it's not just the crazy thing is they're trying to be Google Plus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even after Google Plus failed, Microsoft was like, "Nah, we can do it." You can't, because there are a million other social media outlets out there that do it better. Just, you know what you do really well? You build really great hardware. Could you just make the software not suck so much?
This is the thing, Josh, though. This is the first, like, real, honest to God, intense hardware that they've ever made. No, listen, I grew up with Windows. Windows
too.
was my operating system
Right.
that I defended up until about 2011 when I finally ditched
Pretty
it
much
for,
the exact
no,
same
no.
timeline for
Now,
me.
hold on. No, I used Windows all the way up to Windows 8. I was using it every day.
I let
bought
go
my
of it
Mac
long before that.
I bought my Mac and still had my Windows computer and used it every day, and then did my Mac for creative stuff, and then figured out that I was doing my life wrong, and I went over to Apple. Here's what I'll say about both of these events, right? When you look at them and you just do the first gut reaction, very happy and very ecstatic for both. I feel like, oh my God, a huge win of change. This is exciting. And then after the fog of war settles off, and I realized that Apple updated their product and it gave us a touch bar, but took away USB and gave us USB-C. And dongle lives are now what we're going to have to do. Dongles for everybody on their Macs. And then what Microsoft did was make beautiful hardware, just stunning hardware. Make a great update to some of their software, but it's still fundamentally flawed and rooted in old technology and stuff that's not as popular.
Right.
So you know what Windows did do though when they said their price point, cost of entry. The Macs are still expensive.
No. The cost of it. Oh my God! If you look at the end of the video, Panos Panay says this Surface Book is $23.99.
Yeah.
He says it.
Really?
$23.99. It's $2,400 for a piece of
All I heard
equipment
was
that-
$800.
No, it's for the Surface is $899.
No, that's for the Surface Pro 4.
A Surface Pro 4, which isn't even the next generation. It's the last
All I
generation.
heard was $899.
It's basically saying, hey guys, you can still get this MacBook Pro 13 with all the new technology, but not the touch bar. The smaller profile combating the MacBook Air, you can get that for $12.99, right?
And then Microsoft said, hey, let's do the exact same thing, but we're going to cost it $2,399.
$2,400 for an inferior piece of equipment.
I misheard it. I'm sorry.
That's okay. And then they said the Studio is going to be $2,999. $3,000 for a Studio.
The Surface Book.
That's not with the dial. That's just the
Craig,
Studio.
the entry level on the Surface Book is $1,500. The entry level.
Yeah, I'm buying the Mac all day.
The entry level on a Mac is $999.
What's the 15-inch MacBook Pro, the new one? I think it was what they say
$17.99.
the entry. 17.
Still less
Either
than the
way,
Surface Book.
That's fine. I'm going the Mac all day. I apologize. I retract. I misheard it.
That's okay.
You can get the 13-inch Touch Bar edition, if I'm not mistaken, for $14.99. I may be mistaken. It may be $17.99 at that model. Either way, I'm going that direction, and not just because it's Apple. I've used Windows. I'm proficient with Windows. I can manage my PC all by myself. I'm a grown-ass man, right? I can reset it. I can wipe it and start over if there's a problem. I don't have any problems. Hardware, software, I can do it all.
Which you'll probably have to do a couple times.
But if you're using Windows, you will. But using a Mac, I don't have that problem. CJ?
You were saying a 15-inch MacBook Pro Touch Bar?
$17.99?
Entry level, $2,399, the same as the Surface Book.
$2,400 for the brand new 15-inch. What's the 13?
The 13-inch starts at $1,499.
That's exactly what I said, $1,500.
Yep. So, right, just want to make sure we had the math
for
right.
a laptop is a lot of money.
That's a lot of loot.
Now, absolutely. Now, here's what I will say. And again, Microsoft just started making their own hardware. So we're going to nerd translate this for everybody in just a minute. So sorry for getting super nerdy. The thing is this, and Josh brought it up to me several times before. This is the first time that Microsoft has ever made hardware, right? And Apple's been making hardware since its invention. I am still using a 2011 MacBook Pro to edit this podcast and have it work. I have owned, since 2011, 3 Microsoft PCs. I'm sorry, not Microsoft. 3 PCs from different hardware manufacturers. Running Windows, but have failed several times that I had to repurchase them, go through warranty programs, and get them replaced. Nothing has ever happened to my Mac. It's always run flawlessly. I have, rebooted and fresh installed OSs, absolutely, just like we would with a Windows device.
Because
mine still runs
it's
perfectly
like an annual
fine.
tune-up, right, with your car.
Exactly. And then what I would like to do is, and I would like to translate, why did we just get very upset about this, and just what this means for the general person who's looking to buy a new computer right now.
Here's what it means to me for everyone, right? Windows is the most proliferated system, right? And it's what everyone's used to. It's also the most advertised. It's what everyone is going to see, and that's what they're going to want. My problem with this whole thing is that everyone just picks Windows without trying anything else. The nerd translation is required because everyone, all of you, need to try an Apple device. It functions pretty much the same. You won't really notice too much of a difference in the OS functionality. What you will notice is that over time, the experience doesn't degrade. It doesn't get worse. It just stays the same.
So this conversation, the first episode that I've recorded with you guys, I don't know, several months ago, it was on a MacBook that I bought in 2008.
Right.
And it is now 2016. If you buy a piece of hardware from Apple, it's gonna last. And I've never updated anything on that. I never changed the OS. It's the original from when I bought it.
I think
and it still works.
That's a perfect testimonial, and that was my experience with my first MacBook when I got it in trade from a buddy, and it was a 2008 model in 2011, and I was astonished by its performance, and that's what got me turned on to Apple products.
So here's my nerd translation for all of this. Here's my wrap up for what this is. Apple and Microsoft, again, making pretty big headways for their customers and giving them a great option of products. Listen, I know some people, you are just adamantly will never get an Apple product. I encourage you, just like Josh did, try one out. I mean, seriously, just borrow a friend's. We obviously have all old Macs that you can borrow. Borrow someone's for like a month and just try it. You will like it. But if you are stuck in a place or in a situation where all you can use is Windows, this is really cool. Windows is making their own products. They're designing them, they're manufacturing them, and they are the designers of the OS.
They're giving
that is good.
They're giving you all kinds of useless shit you can do, like move furniture around or like
wait,
make sandcastles.
Yeah,
hey, stop. Let me.
You can turn anything 3D like this is 10 years ago and 3D matters.
$100 glasses.
You can make anything 3D. You know what you can do? You can make everything 3D.
They're giving you the option to get their hardware and your hardware and your software from the same person. They haven't done that with Windows. This is a good step in the right direction. Fix some of the flaws that you have just with Microsoft being Microsoft, which they're doing, okay? And it's good news. The problem is when you look at this from an economical standpoint, it's just more cost effective. It's better to have a Macintosh computer than it is to have a Windows PC. The one thing I want to say, just because I'm me and I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the face, they should 3D for everyone is stupid, just dumb. But the fact that they are getting people the availability of augmented reality and VR for like $300 is really cool because all those other rigs are so damn expensive. Now, again, fatal flaw, it's powered by Windows and it's kind of crappy, but it'll run on pretty much any Windows 10 PC, so you don't have to spend thousands of dollars. Just cool the fact that if you're into gadgets and gizmos and you want to explore VR, it's a great way to get in there. Now, you guys seem to think that putting furniture into your room to see if it looks good is a dumb idea. It is, so I can see that. But it's cool that they gave this to the masses for $300, and I don't know. It's just something to maybe play around with when you're bored, and then sell it on Craigslist for a quarter of the cost. So it wouldn't be that kind of nerd if we weren't talking about the latest in comic book news, and that is our favorite segment of Cape Talk. There were two trailers that were released into the world that follow into the world of comic books, and I want to start with the one that I thought was pretty darn awesome, and that was the Lego Batman movie. Woo!
How hilarious does this? I mean, really?
The trailer. CJ, I think you were watching on the webcam as I watched the trailer.
Yep.
I was literally LOL.
Cracking up, right? Just cracking
looks
up.
Awesome.
So good. The bit with the Robin costume where he's like, oh, the pants are a little tight. And whoop, he's like, oh, God. And everyone's like gagging and stuff.
Oh, that's so much better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so...
They can do so much with the Lego series. I don't know why they don't do more. It's awesome.
I love it. I hope for Josh's sake that they get rid of some of the other stuff they did in the Lego movie and just focus on the Lego universe and ignore the real world outside of it.
Yes.
Right? Ignore the real world and that kids are playing with Legos and just make it in the Lego universe.
Right.
Just blah, blah, blah. I don't need to know that there's people outside.
Right.
Don't show me
no
that.
people.
Just show me Lego Batman and his awesomeness with Will Arnett. You have my money forever. Yes, shut up and take my money. Can I watch this movie?
He is really great.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah. Surprisingly, Cape Talk works for me, and I love the Lego Batman movie. I think it's awesome. I want to see it in the theater, and I don't go to the theater, so that says a lot.
So the final part of Cape Talk was we also got a trailer from the DC universe. The Wonder Woman trailer has come out. The second trailer with Gal Gadot and Chris Pine. And listen, I have to say this, and you all know me, I've been very critical of DC, but this movie with Gal Gadot and Chris Pine is the movie from DC that I've been the most excited for.
You have been very clear on that, and I also think that the rest of us have been clear about how incredibly engorged and or tumescent we are in anticipation of this flick. I gotta tell you, I mean, it shows from the first trailer we saw, we've all been just full on, just ready to go. We want to see this flick. This trailer is on par with, in my opinion, the Avengers trailers.
The Civil War one? Or Avengers?
I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not gonna, because
you're not gonna clarify which Avengers trailer.
Civil War. Well, it wasn't an Avengers movie. It's Captain America, and
true,
was the best, in my opinion, of all the Marvel movies to date. This is on par with either of the Avengers or the Age of Ultron. Either one of the two Avengers movies trailers.
Oh wow, trailer wise, yes.
So, as a non-comic book guy, let me say what this trailer did for me. I would rather see Trolls.
Oh my
Really?
goodness!
I didn't get it. I don't care. It did nothing for me.
Holy crap!
Yeah, she's attractive. That's great. Cool. Whatever.
Are you kidding?
The
But she
whole
did the
story
bullets
arc-
off the wrists.
No,
just like
I'm
the
going to
comic.
see Trolls.
Oh
My God,
I'm so disappointed.
No, like it did nothing for me. I don't care.
It's a great.
And again,
Why
I
are
don't
you
know comic
punching
books.
puppies in front of me? Why would you do that?
Look, let me go on record and say I am the person on this show that has nothing to do with comics. I've never read them. I don't get them. It's not me. There have been some comic movies that I've been interested in and I wanted to see, but this one just misses for me. The story does nothing.
All right. Well, but in fairness, do you also hate fun?
Yes.
That's a more MK Ultra response than anything I've said. I'm just saying that for the
No, like the funness, we can joke. Yes, I hate fun, whatever. That the storyline, like the whole trailer just did not. You sent me how many trailers before this episode?
A bunch. But
and that was the one that I'm like, is this over yet? Can it stop?
The crazy thing
please?
is that this is a story that has never been told.
Yes, it was Doctor Strange, and I don't care about that either.
Oh my goodness. Brian is actually,
God.
he's actually,
No,
if it's possible that you've made him die more inside, then he's having a rough, like he's obviously out there.
Now he's in an iron lung. That's what you've
He's
made him
out
do.
there.
You put him in an
He's
iron
out
lung.
there, in the upside down, and you've ruined him
Look,
further.
guys, people like me exist.
I'm not sure.
I hate to break it to you.
I'm not sure. Box office results don't say people like you exist.
That's very true.
fair.
He's got you there.
They're
He
pretty
does.
clear about people like you not existing.
All right, so I may be in the wrong here, but
While everyone is out watching these movies, you're in a park on a bench with your phonograph and your giant camera, taking pictures.
with
and
my
you're
beard,
twisting
and
your
my-
mustache.
Yeah, exactly.
That hurts. Wow. All right. Well, listen, everybody else on the planet, totally excited for this movie. And Craig Newcomb apparently just wants to be the hipster who says, I don't like this. And that's the show. That's how we're going to end it, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank Craig Newcomb so much for coming on to the show. It was kind of last minute for him, so I really want to say thank you for coming on. If you enjoyed hearing Craig, I highly recommend you check out our other podcast, Hey Did You See? We talked about Sherlock, and we're talking about Stranger Things right now. New episode coming out on Wednesday for Chapter 5. Definitely go ahead and check that out.
Hey, even if you didn't like me, still check out the show. These guys are still good on it.
I want to thank you guys for making us your walk around your neighborhood or drive to work, but I need some help from you. Yeah, that's right. There's two things I need you to do. I need you to go ahead and like us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search That Kind of Nerd. And I want you to send your comments and your feelings about this episode, or if you want to yell at Craig for not liking Wonder Woman, just go ahead and email us. You can email us at podcast@thatkindofnerd.com, or if you feel adventurous, you can actually go ahead and call our phone number and have your voice on the show. You can even text us. Call or text 484-373-4119. We will play your comment on the air so that way you can tell Craig, hey, this movie looks amazing.
Hey, if you call that number, you may end up on another podcast by the same guys, because that's what happened with me.
Exactly what happened with Craig.
A third show will launch with you. So thank you so much for making us your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work, and we will see you guys next week, and hopefully Brian will be out of the upside down or the other dimension, and he'll be back. So thank you so much for listening. We'll see you then. Let's take a moment and talk to Laura Burns for just 30 seconds here. I understand the hard pass and the leeway that you have given me and the responsibility I have to make good use of a hard pass. Laura, I will promise you, I will never see Bad Santa 2, and I take the burden of doing a hard pass extremely seriously. And I'm not going to ever see that movie. Okay, everyone's bladders voided. Ready to proceed?
Did Craig piss himself sitting there?
No, he got up too.
Oh, fair enough.